Okay, look, the latest phone doesn't always mean the best. And in the case of the Pixel 9a and the Pixel 8a, that statement is even more important. So the price of the Pixel 8a has dropped to $399 USD. That is $100 less than what the Pixel 9a launched for. So does this make the Pixel 8a a better phone, or is the Pixel 9a so good to an extent where the extra $100 doesn't matter? That is the question that I want to answer in this video by comparing these two phones. Because phones like the Pixel 9a and the Pixel 8a kind of prove that plastic phones can feel premium. The backs of these phones are made of composite plastics with matte finishes that make them look high-end. They have about the same weight, but the Pixel 9a is a bit slimmer than the Pixel 8a. And I mean, the Pixel 9a still has very thick bezels just like your typical Pixel 8 phone, but it's slimmer than the Pixel 8a with about 2%. That makes sense. Impressively, it has a bigger display than the Pixel 8a and still manages to be slimmer. And I think there is a reason for that, which we'll get into very soon. The Pixel 9a has an IP68 rating, which makes it more resistant to dust and water than the Pixel 8a, which has just the IP67. Okay, so those are just slight differences, if I may call them that. Let's talk about the obvious differences that are important for you to know. So the Pixel 9a does not have a camera bar, which is a significant change because the camera bar has been a huge part of the Pixel's design for the past 3 or 4 years. What I think is even more important is that they managed to remove the camera bar on the Pixel 9a without pissing everyone off, at least not everyone anyway. So let's look at the Pixel 9a. There is no camera bar, but it doesn't feel like a letdown because the overall design still has that Pixel look. What feels like a letdown though is the color I got. Google sent me the peony pink, which I think is too pink, honestly, and I think this is the brightest color that I have ever seen on a smartphone, and it doesn't make the phone look as good as the obsidian or even the porcelain in my opinion. And I think those are two of the best colors for the Pixel 9a and even the 8a. Another letdown is that the display of both phones is still protected with Corning Gorilla Glass 3, which is just a bit far behind. I mean, come on, there are mid-range phones right now that are not even close to being as expensive as this that are better protected with Gorilla Glass 3. The Galaxy A54 came out in 2023. It had a Gorilla Glass 5, which was about 2 years ago. So I don't think it's okay for the display for these two phones to be protected with just Glass 3. So earlier, I said we would get to why I think the Pixel 9a manages to be slimmer despite having a bigger display. Well, the display panel in the phone are POLED, which is different from the OLED panels in the Pixel 8a. POLED panels use plastic substrates instead of glass substrates on the OLED and the AMOLED, and I think Google went with POLED on the Pixel 9a for multiple reasons. One, it's more cost effective than OLED. Two, it's lighter and thinner, which can help reduce weight and increase the screen to body ratio. Three, it is also drop resistant, and I think this is something to watch out for in future Pixel phones, especially the A series phones, because combining the use of POLED with other things might be a cost-effective way to reduce the thickness of the Pixel 8 phones. Now, another difference between the displays of these two phones is the brightness. The Pixel 9a has a 2700 nits of peak brightness, while the Pixel 8a only has 2000. Now, even though the Pixel 9a is obviously brighter, I think you can see both clearly under the sun. That being said, their displays mostly use or have similar features. They both have a 60 to 120 Hz refresh rate, and you can now know in real time when the refresh rate switches from 60 to 120 Hz because the experience is obviously different. Both phones have the always on and HDR feature, which puts the display at the bottom end of a premium level. Ultimately, I like the 2700 nits of brightness, but I don't think there is much difference between the displays of these two phones based on my experience so far. So far, it feels like Google looked at the Pixel 8a, picked out a few features that they weren't on par with the current industry standard, and decided to elevate them. Luckily, the battery is one of those features they decided to elevate, and I think this might be the most significant change between these two phones. Pixel 9a has a 5100 mAh of battery, which is bigger than the 4492 mAh on the 8a with a 600 mAh difference. But that doesn't tell the whole story. They also have improved charging speeds on the Pixel 9a, which now charges at the speed of up to 23 watts. This should translate to a slightly faster charging duration over the Pixel 8a. And given the improved battery capacity, I think that's a significant difference between these two phones. The Pixel 9a also packs Google's latest chipset, the Tensor G4, and I benchmarked both phones, and unsurprisingly, the Pixel 9a has a higher single and multi-core score. Now the difference isn't huge though, and I wasn't really expecting it to be. I mean, Tensor G3 on the Pixel 8a is just one level below the Tensor G4 on the Pixel 9a, which shouldn't translate to a huge difference. They have the same 8 gigs of RAM and the same 128 gigs of storage, and honestly, apart from the battery, their performances are mostly similar. My daily experience of the 9a feels similar to what it was on the Pixel 9, the Pixel 9 Pro, and even the Pixel 9 Pro XL's performance, because Google didn't really do a lot of downgrading in this aspect. The same goes for the Pixel 8a, its performance feels premium. The 9a even has a bigger battery than the Pixel 9 Pro XL. Another cool thing about the 9a is that all the issues that I had with the Pixel 9, the 9 Pro, and the 9 Pro XL when they came out have been fixed with software updates. So the Pixel 9a actually launched with those fixes, which just makes it feel smooth and problem-free, at least for now. And when it comes to the camera, the Pixel 9a and the Pixel 8a are honestly very close. The main sensor on the Pixel 8a is technically 64 megapixels, but it uses binning to give you 16 megapixel shots, same as the Pixel 9a's 48 megapixel sensor. They both use Google's image processing software, so in real-world use, you're getting similar image sizes and quality. Both phones have a 13 megapixel ultra-wide and the same 120-degree field of view, so no difference there, to be fair. That being said, the Pixel 8a does have a slightly larger sensor, which helps with detail and dynamic range, especially in good lighting conditions. On the other hand, the 9a has a wider aperture, which gives it a bit of an edge in low light situations. But honestly, you just have to zoom in and shoot in a tricky lighting situation to notice a big difference. The selfie images look the same to me. I struggle to spot the differences between images with both cameras. Same goes for video recording. They both can shoot in 4K 30 and 60 frames per second and 1080p at 30, 60, 120, and 240 frames per second. So ultimately, both phones capture great pictures. The 8a might give you a little bit more sharpness in daylight, and pictures taken with the Pixel 9a should look a little better in low light conditions. Either way, you're getting that classic pixel image processing that makes your images look clean, sharp, and natural. So if I had to choose between these two phones, it would definitely come down to $499 versus $399. The Pixel 9a does offer some meaningful improvements. You have a larger battery, faster charging, the newer Tensor G4, higher peak brightness, and better water resistance. In the smartphone world, that's enough of an advantage for a new phone to have over its previous version. But then again, in the real world, especially for people who want to buy a mid-range phone, only few of these advantages have significant effects in our daily experiences, and that is the larger battery and faster charging. However, it's difficult to justify the $100 difference. If you simply want a capable Pixel experience at the best value, then the Pixel 8a at $399 is the better deal. But if you're looking for something more, you're looking for a bigger battery or the better chip in your phone, then the Pixel 9a just makes more sense. But let me know what you guys think. I would personally go for the Pixel 8a. It's just a simple phone at a cheaper price. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. I really appreciate you guys for spending the time with me and watching my videos. Make sure you share, like, subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. My name is KJ, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.